Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. I gotta sit there and say that I enjoyed this episode a little bit. I did. Except for the whole Sheila part, I just felt like she was completely unnecessary in this episode. I mean, I've been saying this whole monologuing like a DC villain, and that's pretty much what she did for the most part. She didn't really actually add anything into this episode. The only thing she was just saying was, "Oh, it looks like I just feel that Brooks' world is slowly starting to unravel." Cool. I'm pretty sure I felt like you said that. Pretty sure you felt. I felt like you said that the last time too. So did I really need to hear you say it again? Brooke. Brooke looks like roadkill. Brooke looks like she has not slept in days. Um, I mean, she's a complete and utter wreck. And there's one point where even Hope walks in, and Hope just has this look like, what's going on with you? You okay? I mean, hell, even when Rich got there, Rich was like, yo, is everything good? Like, well, first of all, he was like, did Deacon do something to hurt you? Did he do something to upset you? Was he being a bad little boy? That's how I felt like he was there talking about Deacon. Like he was just being a bad little boy, and he needed to be dealt with it. But of course, there's one point where it looks like Brooke is gonna sit there and tell Ridge about, the kiss, with Deacon and everything like that. But then Hope comes in and, she kind of stops the whole thing. And afterwards, she makes up these excuses because, Ridge is like, are you okay? And, Brooke is like, well, I just, I didn't really get a lot of sleep last night. I can't sleep when you're not here. And just making up a bunch of excuses. Um, she makes up a bunch of excuses. And I think he goes and takes a call. The prince he was working with, wanted to make sure he got okay, he got home okay. So he goes, takes the call, and Brooke calls Deacon, and she's like, she's pretty much saying that she feels like a mess, she feels guilty, she feels awful, she wants to tell Rich everything, and Deacon's like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, no. No, that's a bad idea. How about we don't do that? Let's not do that. And she is just a wreck. She's like, oh, I want to be honest with him, but I don't want to wreck my marriage. And Deacon's like, no, everything's okay, and we just one little kiss. Um, and I slept on top of the sheets. So apparently, and I get that he's just trying to do it to make her feel better, but in reality, it don't matter if you were sleeping on top of the sheets or under the sheets. I'm pretty sure Ridge is not going to give a damn. Okay, I'm pretty sure he's not going to care if you slept on the sheets or under the sheets. When he said that, I laughed my ass off. So I was like, oh, okay. Cool. That's how you're gonna make her feel better by telling her that you're on top of the sheets. Just like, oh, well, I don't even know what to say to that. I really don't. That's like if I'm in the bed with someone and I'm like, oh well, you know, I, like one person's sleeping one way, the other person's sleeping the other way. It's like it doesn't matter because everything is still kind of aligned. So I don't really. Okay, sure, whatever. Um, But, she is like, we're not going to talk about this. We're not going to speak about this and promise me. And then, we're going to just, take this to the grave. Say with me. Now, I'm sitting there thinking, Brooke, you're so paranoid about this whole thing. You're having an open conversation in the living room where anyone could sit there and walk in at any point in time. You really think this is a good idea, Brooke? Really? You really think this? Okay, cool. So after that, then okay. So there's one point where it's like I can't tell if she killed this scene with just amazing acting, or was this over the top, or was this just right? There's one point where she takes the alcohol, like she's looks like she's stumbling, and she looks like she's really broken, like just wrecked about this whole thing. And she takes the alcohol and she pours it in, she pours it down into the plant, because apparently, um, that makes sense. So she pours it down the like in a little plant thing, and she's like shaking and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there like I'm just I kind of just looked at the whole thing like was that booze already done? Because here's the thing, I get you don't drink, but there's some other people in the house that drinks. I just feel like that's just a waste of alcohol. Of nice alcohol that you just threw down the okay. But part of me felt like she really killed that whole scene, you know? Like she looked so broken and just distraught, and her eyes was all red, and like the way she handled that scene, I was like, wow. I I partly felt like that was overacting, but given the gravity of the situation, given how long that, she and Rich has been married and everything like they went through, and to know that if that secret ever comes out, I gotta sit there and say that I am impressed that she definitely killed that scene. I know a lot of people do not like Brooke, and they have every right to not like Brooke. I totally get the history. I can understand why people don't like her, but I mean, you gotta admit, she definitely killed that scene. Now, Deacon, before he went to work to have a couple of drinks or whatever, or water, I'm not too sure, he did come to talk to Liam. Now, before he talked to Liam, there was something that was interesting. So, Liam is getting Douglas and, I forgot his daughter's name, but getting them ready to hang out with Donna. And Douglas is just kind of sitting down there and he was like, Grandma kissed Santa last night. I'm not gonna lie. We both had that reaction. Like me and Liam was like, what? I laughed because I knew exactly what that was. Um, but Liam didn't really understand what he was talking about. He was like, it's just Santa games or whatever. Okay, whatever. Get your stuff ready. Now, I'm just wondering how many times is that going to come up before somebody starts to put two and two together? I can't wait. I cannot wait. Rich is going to lose his mind, and I'm going to be honest, when that happens, I'm going to get some cheese doodles. I'm gonna get some cheese doodles. It may take me a while because after I finish eating, I gotta wash my hands before I touch my laptop. But ooh, I mean, you see, this guy is hot headed on a like regular basis. Imagine when he finds out that Deacon and Brooke kiss, he's going to lose his mind, and I'm going to enjoy every single minute of it. I mean, okay, let me take that back a little bit. I'm going to enjoy his reaction. Okay, I don't enjoy. I wouldn't enjoy watching him be in pain and hurt because of what happened with his wife and another man. I'm a dick, but I'm not that much of a dick. But his reaction is going to be priceless. But yeah, so yeah, Deacon comes over to talk to Liam. They kind of get some common ground and be like, "Hey, listen, I just want you to give me a chance. At the end of the day, we're both. Our goal is to love and make sure that Hope is okay. You know." And I get Liam's reaction as far as like he wants to make sure that Hope doesn't get hurt by this guy and yada yada yada. I get that, and how even Deacon was like, you know what? Listen, I admire that because you're there for my daughter. Regardless, even me, you'll step even to me to defend my daughter. And that's something right there. Um, And I just want to sit there and mind the classroom that good old Dollar Bill has been in jail too and has done some really bad things, and I'm pretty sure Liam isn't exactly a choir boy, but yet he wants to sit there and try to act like people can't be forgiven and second chances. So there's that. But they did seem like they reached some sort of understanding because when Hope talked to Liam, Liam was like, "Yo, we actually had a good talk," you know. So yeah, but then they also talk about Deacon and how it's important to not, I guess, kind of throw Deacon too much into Brooke and Rich's face. Seeing how they're already having some marital issues, kind of just to tread lightly, with Deacon and his presence in the house and stuff. Oh, and I cannot forget about the last part. Mm-mm, mm-mm-mm. I got so I got so flustered, I guess, in there. Well, not flustered, but just in there thinking, oh, that damn Cheryl always in there monologuing like a damn DC villain. And I totally forgot about that flaky ass chick, Paris, and Carter. And yeah, it does take two. I'm not going to just sit there and throw it all on Paris. But, I mean, did anything get resolved in their talk? I mean, Paris was just like, oh, well, I didn't want to sit there and hurt him, and he loves me, and that's so great, but I just wasn't ready, and I didn't want to hurt him. And I'm just like, there's one point where she's talking about this kiss. She's like, oh, and you tell me you didn't want to sit there and go off on New Year's Eve with a bang or something like that. And she's talking about the kiss and she's smiling, and I'm like, wait. I like that moment right there had so much issues. I was like, first of all, this chick literally just cheated on Zende, and I get that she said that she's not in a relationship, but yet a couple months ago she was in a relationship. Whatever. The chick is in a relationship, and she's talking about this kiss, and she's smiling, and I'm like, wow, wow. And yeah, I did read the comments about her being a hypocrite because her worser half, Zoe, was doing stuff like that, and she was going hard on her, and now she's doing the exact same thing. Yeah, she's not there smiling about it. I'm like, are you serious? Like, really? You just. I just sat there and just looked at this whole thing like, what is wrong with Paris? Like, seriously, what the hell is wrong with this girl? It's just me, or I just feel like they just don't know what to do with Paris at this point. And I say that because I know, I've heard that, there's one point that she was trying to go out to Finn or she liked the Finn. And then, like, this whole thing with Thomas. And then she's with Zende. And now she's Nipsey kissing Carter. And it's like, what are we doing with this character? Like, what is this? What is the goal of this character? Where are we trying to get this character to? Because I feel like maybe they're doing some sort of test run to see who she has most chemistry with. But it's one of those things where it's like, pick a lane and go with it. Like, can we just find something for this woman to do? Because I feel like there's certain characters that are kind of staple. They're just like you. Okay, when you watch it, you know what these characters are trying to. You know what these characters are trying. You know what these characters like. You feel like they have a purpose to some extent. Like I feel like when I watch Steffi, she has a purpose. Liam, he has a purpose. Hope has a purpose. A lot of these people have a purpose. Okay, and then there's some characters, and I'm just like, I don't really know. Like Carter, sometimes I'm just like, what is his purpose? Like his purpose before was to, well, bang another man's wife because he couldn't get an erection. But besides that, I don't know what his purpose is. You know, like sometimes I'm just like I'm not really too sure. At least with Quinn, I kind of have an idea what her purpose is. Katie, I know what her purpose is, but with like Paris, it's just like, what are you doing here? Like, do you even know what to do with you? And that's another reason I'm not really feeling Paris, besides the fact that she just comes across, well, the hypocrite part, a lot of people do come across as hypocrites at one point in time. But the flakiness, the back and forth, the 1 minute we're in a relationship and I have a boyfriend, to the next minute, oh, we're just single, we're keeping it casual. Like that stuff is not working for me. And then the fact that again, I feel like they don't know what to do with her character. And so it's hard for me to sit there and be invested into a character that I feel like they don't even know what they're doing with her. You know? Like I don't want to get too deep into it because I feel like, well, to be honest, I feel like I'm probably gonna say something that's gonna get me in trouble, but I just don't know. Like when I see her, she's so flaky. I don't just got nothing. And honestly, to tell you the truth, throughout that scene, I felt nothing. I felt like they didn't resolve anything. And I mean, I know Carter said that, yeah, you know, we're just gonna be friends. You know, I felt something for you just as friends, and you're this, and you're that, and you're the third. And I'm just like, you know, if it almost seemed like he was flirting with her, it didn't even seem like she was just like, well, no, you shouldn't do that because I'm with Zendaya. It's like, okay, no, keep going. Okay, yeah, I'm this. Yeah, I'm that. Yeah, that kiss, you wanted to have that kiss with a bang, right? Like, what? Like, did they just settle on the fact that they're just going to be friends? They're not going to be doing any of that stuff anymore? Or was it just so much of a flaky? I couldn't tell, and I don't know if I can tell because I wasn't invested into the characters or because I felt like they just kind of glossed over the fact that, hey, listen, let's just be clear. Moving after this day, we're not going to be sitting there doing this stuff behind my friend's back, behind my so called boyfriend or person I'm seeing's back. Like, nothing was established. They just talked and they talked around stuff. And, well, Paris acted like a flake. Carter, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know with those two characters, and it's just so distracting and frustrating trying to watch it and trying to focus on them when I feel like the direction of those characters, there's no focus with them. So it makes what I do a lot more challenging. And I feel like that's about it. So with that being said, I want to thank everyone for one watching this as late as it came out. I said this before, but I'll say it again. I don't normally get, you know, I haven't really got those staying to 6 o'clock shifts in a while, and it does push a lot of stuff back. But I felt like, you know what, listen, I'm going to sit down and watch it anyway. I want to do a review on it. And so here I am. Um, so, yeah, so I want to thank everyone for watching because I know it came out super late. And also just thank you for watching in general. And thank you for thank you for listening to me rant for the last 3 minutes because I'm going to be honest, some of that stuff seemed like it seemed like it kind of came out of focus, but that's only because, again, Carter and Paris, I feel like they don't know what they're doing with those characters. So, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank everyone for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.